welcome back to Lovin Meets with Jennifer Sault, the founder of Thrift for Good. What they are doing is incredible, going through 25,000 pieces of clothing every month, making sure that Dubai has access to secondhand clothing that looks cool.
And so if you are not subscribed to Lovin Meets to hear the interview with Jennifer, subscribe to the podcast wherever you get your podcasts from. Enjoy the interview.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Lovin Dubai show. Today we're joined by Jennifer Sault, the founder of Thrift for Good, combining her passion for the environment along with fundraising for incredible projects. Join us as we delve deeper into her inspiring story. Thank you so much for being here. We're so excited to have you. Sorry we're late, but we really appreciate your time.
I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Not at all.
Well, thank you for being here, as Casey has said. So my first question for you is that you are giving. You give people. So where, if you can tell us about your background and where did the idea of giving came from?
Yeah, so I started when I was a child fundraising to build a daycare in the Philippines. And that just stuck with me. I was lucky to volunteer overseas, and really, I feel really lucky because it's my passion, my purpose to fundraise for kids overseas. And I've been able to make a career out of it as well. So Thrift for Good is what we're doing, and I'm lucky to not do it alone. We've got a great community of people, and it's charitable thrift stores here in the UAE. So we give back by helping the environment, circular economy for clothing, selling pre-loved clothes, and we donate 100% of our profits to help children's charity projects around the world through our partner charity, Gulf for Good. So yeah.
It's amazing, and I'm sure residents who've been living in the UAE for any amount of time will know the name Thrift for Good, so we're definitely going to delve deeper into what you guys do. But just to step back a little bit, you said you started as a child and then you raised money for an orphanage in the Philippines?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
How did that happen?
So I was lucky to have a great group of friends in high school and a family member who was also fundraising for kids in the Philippines. I had some friends in high school who were from the Philippines, and they would tell me about their families. So we joined forces and we just started school fundraisers. This was over 20 years ago. It was a long time ago. But I'm so glad that that sparked a passion in me and just kept going for life. So yeah.
Because it's amazing. We have, every now and then we'll speak to kids in the UAE doing amazing things. So
Yeah.
where do you think your passion, where did it spark? Where were you like, this could really impact people, so I want to help? Do you remember a moment or where did that come from?
So that's a great question. I think as a child, I just felt very moved by what was happening for people around the world, and I wanted to do something. And, as a kid, maybe it was that spark of inspiration and wanting to do something, and then starting it off and knowing how good it feels to help and learning the stories of who we're helping. I think a small spark at that age can lead into something so much bigger. It's easier to be influenced when you're a kid to do good, I think, if you have the right motivations, incentives, and encouragement.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
100%. But I have a question is that, of course, we grow up.
Yeah.
And as we grow, our passions do change over time.
Mm-hmm.
Like what I wanted to be when I was younger at 5 years old is not what I wanted to be when I was 12, 13 or in my teenage years. So would you say, how did you manage to have this passion stay within you and actually implement it and I would say create such a platform?
That's a very good question.
Yes.
So I also went through my, I knew that I wanted to spend my life helping kids and I saw it was possible and I loved it. But, I had no idea how to do that. Okay. So I actually studied microbiology. I don't use microbiology anymore. And, my path did this, but ultimately I landed in fundraising because that's what I found was the way that I can most easily give back and support people on the ground who know the local context and who can really lift up the kids in the most appropriate way. So, and being in Dubai is great for fundraising. So I feel that's how I can help the most with my community of support here in Dubai. There was a little bit of this with one central target. Yes. So I feel lucky to have had that passion from a young age and have been able to make a career out of it and to be able to do something with my life to give back.
You mentioned Dubai is a great place for fundraising. How was it? Let's go back to the start of Thrift for Good.
Yeah.
And we are very compassionate people, but actually maybe the methods to give back aren't they're not everywhere. They're not in your face. So was it easy to create what you've done, or were there obstacles along the way?
Oh, of course. There's always obstacles in everything, right? We're very lucky to be able to do what we do from a legal standpoint here in the UAE, but I know it can be challenging for charitable organizations to figure that out, to navigate it, to get it set up. But we're so lucky to have the UAE government's support. I used to work with Gulf for Good, which is the charitable organization we're doing this with. And this is where Thrift for Good was born. Essentially, we're receiving phone calls of people wanting to donate their clothes, and we started selling it at markets to raise extra money for the kids. But I'd say the challenge is, like any new business, it's building an infrastructure. There's such a demand here for secondhand, and there's so many clothes to be processed. So it was building a whole system. How can we make a zero waste process for these clothes? How can we, get the community together, get volunteers, and organize in that way? We're 3 years young, 3 years strong, and it's growing really fast. There's always obstacles, but we're happy to overcome them as they arrive. So yeah.
So of course, thrifting as well plays a huge role to the environment.
Yes.
So not many people are aware of that. How would you say you have raised awareness towards thrifting for good, whether it's for humanitarian purposes or even environmental purposes?
Yeah, so every day we're talking about the effects of fashion on the environment. We hold a lot of workshops to educate people. And is it okay if I go into some of those facts now, just to give some context?
100%, yeah, 100%.
So a lot of people don't know that fashion is very straining on the environment. It takes a lot of resources in terms of water, a lot of carbon emissions, a lot of things to produce fabrics. And with fast fashion being so popular, there's a lot of pressure on clothing brands to mass produce clothing every single season for the lowest price possible, which means a lot of brands are turning to cheap fabrics that contain polyesters, plastics. There's a huge microplastic problem in our oceans. I've read stats that are terrifying, like 70% of breast milk in the US has plastic in it now, and 30% of all of those plastics are coming from clothing. Also, the dyes that are used in cheaper fabrics often contain mercury and harmful substances. There's massive amounts of water pollution. It's harmful also for our health when we wear this on our back. I could keep going. There's a lot of stats, but the most scary is 150 billion clothes are being produced every single year, cheap prices, and 3/5 of those clothes go into the landfill within the first year of their life. So when we lead this culture of buy, consume, throw, we're really killing the planet and people. There's so much slave labor, child labor, atrocities happening in terms of, clothing production. So I think it's really encouraging people to choose something more sustainable. And with Thrift for Good, we're hoping to make circular economy, secondhand fashion more accessible. A lot of the times people, there's a bit of a stigma against secondhand, and we combat it by offering only perfect quality items. So when people come to our stores, the price is better. It's amazing, unique fashion. We have a new selection every single day, and it's perfect quality. So it's really exciting to see people have access and naturally want to shift to thrift and something more sustainable and shop with us instead of going to fast fashion. So yeah, it's exciting.
Wow, I have I don't even know where to begin, because what I think you're doing is incredible, and I just wonder, do you feel like in the last 10 years the conversation on fast fashion has changed? Do you think it's easier to educate do you think the public are we educating ourselves better, or are we just running to Forever 21 and spending our money, or are we more conscious shoppers? Is it an age thing, do you think?
Yeah, so that's a very good question. I know thrifting is trending for the younger population, for the Gen Z, but they're also the most likely to shop Shein and order online. I think it is growing, and again, having access is the first key step. There are some great secondhand shops in the UAE, but it's a really tiny market compared to what it is elsewhere. And in the next 10 years, it's estimated that secondhand will be the leading source of fashion globally. I really hope so. I'm looking forward to that day. And just to answer your question, we were surprised. There is a huge demand here for secondhand, and we're able to provide it. So yeah, we're seeing that narrative change, and people are very excited and motivated. And I just hope the more we can talk about it, the more access we can provide, the bigger it becomes.
So your shop, Thrift for Good, of course, it focuses on humanitarian.
Yeah.
You know, like it's for humanitarian, and you have done a lot of humanitarian work. So what is your idea of like, of course, what's happening of the humanitarian needs that are happening right now?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many things. I hope it's okay if I speak about this, but we just fundraised for Gaza for relief through the Terror Home campaign with Emirates Red Crescent.
Amazing. Nice.
We're so incredibly proud and happy to be able to give back to situations like this. And we had to move to our next projects because we, in general, make promises to help children's charity projects around the world. And for me, I think this is a really great goal because when we help kids to get better livelihoods, better jobs, they're more likely to take care of their kids and the future generations and change communities in turn. So right now we're fundraising for kids in Uganda through the Kisoro Children's Foundation.
That's nice.
To build classrooms, to give solar panels so they don't have electricity cuts, to buy computers so the teachers have access to technology to teach, a garden so the kids can have food. And our projects are always in the same line, trying to make charities more sustainable. They could take better care of themselves and to give kids a stronger start at life. So it's really exciting that we can help from that angle.
That's amazing. And we'll definitely have links here for Thrift for Good in every way that if you're inspired by this and you can get in touch and you can help in any way, we would love you guys watching to do that. I just want to jump back into the process and how it works. So you said that you're able to provide, I'm not sure the phrase you use, fault-free clothes or...
Yeah.
So how does that work? Because I imagine here in the UAE, I imagine you get mountains of clothes.
Yeah.
So how do you sort through it and how does that work? And then if it's a zero waste process, what do you do with the clothes that you essentially can't sell on?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we're currently processing about 25,000 pieces of clothes every single month. So yeah, it's a lot. And I know there's so much more in the UAE to process. And we are currently, as far as I know, the only zero waste solution for clothing in the UAE. So anyone can contribute their clothes, anything you wear or read in either of our stores. We've got 2 locations. You can find us on Google Maps or Thrift for Good, you'll find us. So when people bring that in, we're volunteer run. Everything we do is with volunteers and we sort it by condition. Perfect quality, easy, it goes into the store. Not perfect quality, we do our best to fix it. We have sponsors and volunteers to stain treat, to sew, to all these things.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
It's fantastic. And I mean, sometimes it doesn't take much to save the clothes, to make them live that much longer of a life. Otherwise, we're at flea market every single weekend selling the stuff we can't repair to local communities for a great price. Or with Kiswa, we send it to India to recycle into carpet and furniture. And we also work with amazing upcyclers here in Dubai that will take, that stained pair of denims and turn it into something amazing. So it's really exciting what can be done with clothing with a little creativity. After all, nothing is waste until we waste it, right? So yeah, we keep it away from the landfill that way.
Wow.
Yeah, that is true. So at the beginning, you have mentioned that you have faced some challenges, of course, because you said nothing just passes by like that. So what is the biggest challenge that you have faced, creating this amazing, I would say, business, Thrift for Good?
Yeah, it's a very good question. So I think it's always capacity. We donate 100% of our profits to help children's charity projects. And what that means is we keep our expenses as low as we possibly can because it doesn't take much to change a child's life. 1,500 dirhams is enough to sponsor a child in Tanzania for an entire year. So when we're making payments, I'm not thinking like, okay, 1,000 dirhams to do for, Wi-Fi this month. I'm thinking that's a child. So with that, it's always this capacity play of how much do we want to spend to compromise to grow? How much can we do with volunteers and finding that right balance to be able to have a massive impact. So our goal is to have sponsorship to cover our costs so we can grow that way and we can donate 100% of everything. And with that too, you can imagine being volunteer run is beautiful. We have 70 committed volunteers who make the magic happen, but the coordination of all of those people to make it happen. I don't know if that answers your question well, but capacity.
It certainly does. Like, just look, like, guys, 25,000 pieces of clothing are coming through. You've got 70 volunteers working. All of the proceeds go to charity.
Yeah.
What an amazing thing that you're doing, Jennifer. We really appreciate your time. Where are the locations, and how can people get in touch with you to find out more if they can help?
Yeah, so our locations, we have 2 locations, one on the Palm Jumeirah in the Golden Mile Galleria building, and one in Times Square Center, which is Shakeside Road, Al Manara, upstairs on the first floor. You can find us on Google Maps. And if anyone wants to get in touch, contact us on social media, send an email. You'll find our contact details on our website, or just pop into store. That's the most fun. Really, we would love your help. If you have time to volunteer, like I said, we desperately need it. If you want to declutter your closet, come on in. Or if you want to shop sustainable fashion, we're your place to go for that. So thank you.
Thrifting, love that so much. That is all we have time for with Jennifer, and it comes to the end of our show. Guys, remember 5 p.m. is that media briefing on the weather that's coming in towards the weekend. Brawley's out, don't wash your car. That is all we have time for in the show today. We'll see you tomorrow morning, same time, same place. Goodbye from me.
Goodbye from me.
Thank you.